Alright guys, so for the schedule, I just randomly decided to switch it up and post more. So, alright guys, what is up? For this video, I'm going to be doing thin ice tips so then you can get good. Especially since they have the thin ice trials right now, which could mean either really hard or even like no wins, or like a bunch of wins since you instantly go to the final. So I'm gonna give you some tips. Alright, finally. I think I can actually give out some tips. So the first tip is that you want to make a big hole. Because I think last game, I would have an example of it, but I deleted it, where I decided to just randomly jump. I almost fell in a hole. I dived over it, and I was able to live. Which one? Okay, yeah, that is very lucky. But two, if you maybe made a bigger hole, then I probably would have fell. I'm not talking like a 6 hexagon hole. I'm talking like a 2 to 3 hexagon hole. Obviously, it is a bit risky in these earlier matches, so I don't know if I would 100% recommend it. Actually, yeah, I would not recommend this for like the beginning of the match if you're playing Thin Ice Trials. Of course, like if it's the finale and main show, you might want to try this strategy, but I wouldn't really recommend it for the first one since you could get a calm one where you just don't get raided like the last match I played. Or that could happen, you could just get like raided by 15 people. I would say really not a lot of complex plays have to happen here. You just have to live. Another tip is if like a hexagon is broken, then you can actually jump on it twice. See how I jumped on that hexagon twice? All you have to do is just spam jump, and then you should be able to jump on the broken hexagon. And that even works if the hexagon isn't about to break or isn't broken. Because then, if you jump enough, the game won't be able to render it yet since you jumped so early. So then, you'll just get like a free extra jump, and it won't count. Because it takes a certain amount of time for the game to realize that you've hit one of the hexagons. So, yeah, that is why. And you can even do that for like broken hexagons. Like, obviously, you can only do it for the hexagon if you've been on it for a while. So like here, let me show you an example. So let's say I move to this hexagon right by me and I try to do the strat. Obviously, it'll break, but then it'll like not render. So it won't instantly not render. So yeah, I would definitely say in the final do the 3-hole strategy. It's a fun little like next step to just breaking one, and I am gonna break this hole. Oh, there are so many holes to destroy. I have this feeling. Alright, so see how these guys are running? You might want to stay away from them, just because they could ruin your whole game. I'm gonna stay away. And we qualified in the next round. So you can see that tip, and I probably could have cut off that bot, but I had a feeling that if I tried to cut him off, like, I would die. And it was already pretty late in the game. So I guess now, after a while, you can figure out the players. So for the Golden Witch, we know that that person is mainly gonna hop, might make a hole, but probably is just gonna hop up. But we know for the Koala and the Golden Fox that they are mainly gonna run around, which actually was a good strategy since it did kill a lot of people. So we're gonna see how this goes. I do not know all of the people strategy. I also know that the brown bot, I know that he's not the best player since he almost died like twice, I think. So probably don't have to worry about him. If you're trying to use the whole strategy, definitely test out if it can work. Because some people might go and try and kill you in the earlier part of it. see, like, I just let them finish that hole just because, like, they were gonna duel out. So see, what's everybody doing right now? Most of the people are hopping, the bot guy isn't. And this, like, horse, egg person is not. I did not know them. I think it was like eggshell, I don't know. I do not know who is a massive griefer though. I think maybe the Golden Witch is definitely a griefer, since I think she almost killed me like twice, so. I'm gonna break all of these hexagons so people can die quicker. Never do that, always do this. See how that works? That is way better than this. I mean, it is very good practice if you're practicing for like hexagon, let's say. That would be good practice, but I don't know. It just wouldn't really fit for if you're trying to win. And we can see that because of the runners, we do not have a lot of tiles left. No. Oh, okay. So. Now, right now, I'm just gonna stay at this part. And see how I won that? I used all of the tips. But there was one tip I would like to give. So in that situation, what I could have done is I could have used all of my tiles. But the problem is, if there's a chance where you can win, and you know that you might not get it, you should probably take it. Unless if it's like super fatal, like that one, the only problem would be that if I stayed on there, I might have lost and someone would have taken the path, and then they could have won. But luckily, I took the path, and I won. And that is my tips for Thin Ice.